So excited. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Happy Thankful Thursday. You know what that means. You all come and hang out at Lindy's Treehouse. I'm Paramom USA, your host, the host with the most, the squirrely with the squirrelies. That's me. You never know what we're going to talk about at on Thursday nights. You just never know. The conversation goes this way, goes that way. It's wherever the wind blows. That's what we talk about. That's what we talk about. So come on in, climb up in the treehouse, hang out in the chat tonight. We always have a really good time. We really do. We talk about all kinds of different stuff. So don't be shy. Okay, everybody, just jump right in. I hope you're all having a good day. Like I said, I'm Paramom USA, and you're at Lindy's Treehouse every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I look forward to Thursdays so that I can see all my parapeeps and see what everybody's been up to. And we kind of like catch up with things during the week, and not literally catch up, not like catch up. But, we all kind of get together in the treehouse and talk about life and laugh and share stories, and that's what it is. I'm super excited. May is my birthday month. Hi, Scooby-Doo just jumped in the chat. Hi, Munchkin, I love you, girl. I have some awesome parapeeps that join me every Thursday night, and we really have a good time. We do. Like I said, I work for hours the night before the show, trying to, think of things and be creative and all that. Scuba says, sorry, we are out eating. That's okay. You need to eat. Don't starve for me. Okay. You guys enjoy your dinner. You know where I'm at. I'm here for an hour and a half. However, I just kind of go with the flow. That's what we do on the show. And I wore my black cowboy hat tonight, so I thought I'd change it up. I need to get a new cowboy hat, I think, because I was looking at myself last week with my other hat on, and my fault is I'm always adjusting it. The brim. I'm always adjusting it and messing with it. And I love my cowboy hats. I don't spend a fortune for them because that'd be silly. But I would have to, the cowboy hats that I really like, I would have to take out a GoFundMe, because the nice ones are super expensive, So I hope you all had a good day. A lot of you are working and everything, and I had a good day, headed off to my hearing doctor this morning and took care of business. I got to keep these hearing aids, keep them running good, just like a car, right? And we just laughed about it because he got my hearing aids all adjusted and everything else, and I said, good, I'm good for another 60,000 miles. So I got to take care. I have to baby these hearing aids because you all know how much they're very expensive. So anyway, yeah, it's my birthday month and I'm super excited. My birthday is Sunday, Mother's Day. I think that only happens like every 5 years or something. But I'm just here to kind of, I don't know, we're going to talk about different things. I'm going to wait for more people to get in the chat and all that stuff and say hi. And I got all kinds of good things going on that we're going to talk about. I love looking up like current events and funny things that happen, in life, and just different things. Oh, Scuba says, yeah, happy 90th birthday. Okay, Robert. Okay. You're worse than Robert now. Yeah, remember Robert, my son Robert, my paraglider son. He says I'm 80 years old. And Scooby-Doo said 90. Oh, gosh. I tell you what, no, I want to inspire people. I'm not afraid to tell my age. And I know people will be watching later or whatever. I appreciate my viewers that are hanging out in the background, watching me and all that tonight. I appreciate y'all here. And Will Fly says, "This is this the line for the free cheese?" Oh, Will Fly, you're being so cheesy tonight. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You're so funny. Yeah, I have some things. We're going to talk about some of like the worst foods that people eat. We're going to talk about that later. I'm going to talk about some current events, some fun things that, that I looked up, that silly things that people do and everything. But yeah, just doing this podcast. It's a live stream. It's not a podcast. Live stream. I started doing it a year ago in June, and I'm really proud of myself. I have a really good time with it. I just think, okay, everybody out there, I'm on Sunday, I'm going to be 70 years old. Okay. This is it. This is me. 70. Like, what the heck? How could that be? So I'm telling y'all, do the thing. Okay. Do the thing. That's my little motto tonight. Do the thing. And because before it's too late. And I'm glad that I did the thing and went paramotoring, jumped on a paramotor 2022, 23, and 24, and possibly 25. We'll see. We will see. We'll see how the day rolls out and everything. But yeah, look at me, I'm going to be 70 years old. And I'm jumping on, going on these paramotor things. And hi, Bill H. Welcome. Welcome, you guys. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm hoping you're all having a great evening. And for those just jumping, just listening or, jumping in the chat, or yeah, come up to Lindy's Treehouse. I'm Paramom USA, and this is Lindy's Treehouse. And I'm here every Thursday night, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, we talk about all kinds of stuff every week. And it really helps me be more creative. Every week I get a little more creative with things and different topics, because there's so much in the world to talk about. There really is. And so I really enjoy it. And I enjoy having everybody here. And some of your listeners and all that, my viewers and everybody that just jumped in, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification, all that stuff, so that you don't miss a show. I appreciate all your likes. I have to say shout out to all my subscribers. It's going really well. My viewing numbers are going up, so that's a good thing too. Just when you're viewing it, don't forget to hit the like button, okay? Because that really makes me happy. It really makes me happy. But yeah, how I got my name, Paramom USA. If y'all, some people are probably wondering how in the heck, how'd she get that Paramom USA name? My son, Robert Michaels, he is a paraglider, and he had a show. He was doing a paragliding show last year. He did his last show. I think it was in June, or maybe it was a couple months before that last year. And I decided it would be fun to do a show on Thursday nights, because people were asking me, who's going to do a show on Thursday since Paragliding Talk is gone? And I decided to jump on the wagon, and do a show. And it's pretty cool. And Will Floss said Robert is a quitter. No, he's far from that. That dude has so much on his plate right now. Oh my gosh, Will. He really does. He's raising he's raising those boys. 3 of them are teenagers already. He's got his hands full, definitely. But he's such a great dad. I'm so proud of him. Robert, if you're listening, I'm so proud of you. Hi, John Wayne. John Wayne just jumped in the treehouse. Have a seat, John Wayne. Cowboy, welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here tonight. I really am. So yeah, that's how I got the name Paramount USA. I did used to co-host Sean Simon's show. It's a mouthful. A couple years ago, and I always had really a lot of fun with that. And that's I decided, yeah, my name should be Paramount USA, and I just kind of stayed with that. Yeah, Will Fly says I know he does. He's a busy guy for sure. Yeah, yeah, he is. He is. I can't even. I mean, there's sometimes I send him the link to the show, and a lot of times he's so busy. Like last time when I messaged him, he said he was mowing the grass. So he's got all that cool um, landscaping and everything now. That it's a lot of work when you get it's some acreage. What happens when you have that acreage? You have to keep it up, right? So that keeps him busy and with the kids, and he can fly off his land and all that. But anyway, yeah. So I'm just super excited to be here tonight. It was a beautiful day. I did some walking yesterday, about 3.5 miles, and I'm gonna start getting out there again because the walking does keep you younger. I gotta take care of the old chicker, as the saying goes, right? And just stay healthy. So, so I got some new, like some current events I looked up. Just funny little stories, when you're flipping through the newspaper and you just kind of, you read something like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? So I'm just going to read some things out of my book here, and we'll, move along or whatever. And like I said, I'm Paramount USA. You're at Lindy's Treehouse tonight, and come on in and jump in the chat. Say hi. We don't bite. We don't. We always have crazy conversations and lots of laughs through the show. And I really enjoy what I'm doing. It keeps me busy. It's very important to stay busy at my age. Yes. Stay busy, everybody. I'm telling you, I'm going to give you some good advice. And just stay, I want to inspire people. If you want to live longer, you got to take care of yourself. And that's how I look at it. Whatever God's plan was when he brought me to Michigan was the best thing ever. And my life has, in the last 4 years, my life has changed so much for the better. And I've been going on so many adventures and just really enjoying life. And that's what you should do, because before you know it, here we are, right? And John Wayne and Bill H, they can relate. It's like, where'd this 70 come from? They wouldn't even have enough birthday candles to put on my birthday cake. They would have to have a giant cake. 70 candles would have to go on there. Birthday candles go on there. So now I want to make sure that you listen to things, in the show. There's going to be words that you got to listen to some words, and then I'm going to ask you what topic, what were we talking about, like earlier in the show. And I'll bring it up again, for people that haven't. I'm going to wait for more people to get in the chat too. So, and we'll do the secret word, as the saying goes, because Scotty, usually he gets in here later. So I don't want him to miss out on anything. So, anyway, well, let's see. The first current events, we have a new Pope, Pope Robert, I guess his name is. And he's the first new Pope that's actually in the USA. And so good for him. It's a pretty big deal. And okay, so now I was reading up on some things, and it says here, because we do current events on the show, we do talk about paramotoring. We chat between ourselves, whatever, about flying paramotors or whatnot. And I totally enjoy that. But our show is, it's just talking about life. So it said a cat was lost for 3 years, and the owner found the cat at a McDonald's 10 miles from her house. 3 years. For 3 years, she was looking for that cat, and the cat finally showed up at McDonald's. which kind of worries me too, because, you hear about in China, them eating their animals or whatever, kind of thing. I know it sounds gross, but I just thought it was kind of comical. I'm glad that she got her kitty back, so that's good news, right? And then, okay, so this is another funny story, you guys. There was a guy in Florida. He bought a $2 lottery ticket, and he won the jackpot for $167 million, okay? And the next day, he was at a hotel, and he got into some kind of altercation, and then the cops got involved, and they got in an altercation with a cop, right? And come to find out that he has been on parole. He's been on parole since last. He's going to be on parole till August 2025, right? And he also has, like criminal background and all that stuff. So he's in jail. Evidently, he's in jail now, obviously, because they found a whole bunch of things on him. And after winning $167 million, that was kind of cut short, right? And so he was supposed to split it with his mother. So whether they split it or not, I'm not familiar with how that all works. But he was going to split the lottery with the money with his mom or something. So I don't know, and win the lottery, and then the next thing you know, you're in jail. What? Gosh, I don't know. Anybody else in the chat? I don't know how that works. Who gets the money? Does his mom still gets the money, or he's kind of SOL? I'm just wondering, if anybody in the chat wants to, tell me what you think. But I thought that was pretty funny. I did. Probably not so funny for him, but I thought it was funny that, $167 million, right? And then they kind of find out he's a felonist or whatever. So that was, I'm sure that was, cut short or whatever. So John Wayne says, your storms just blew through here. And Bill H says, money doesn't matter, only life matters. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. The weather's been pretty decent up here. I know Louisiana's been getting, and Mississippi, y'all been getting hit really bad with those storms. And but so far so good up here. Like I said, I walked to the college yesterday, and when I got up there, I was going to walk the track, and it was closed because people are it's getting for graduation, so they were doing graduation pictures and stuff. And so, yeah. John Wayne says, Bill H, tell that to the IRS. Scuba says, finally lower wind. Yeah, I can't complain about the weather here. It's been really nice last couple of days. But anyway, yeah, long story short, yeah, the guy, I don't know if he got the money or not and all that stuff. But you know how we always talk about alligators? Did you all see that on the news? That poor couple in Florida, and do you say it Kissimmee, Florida? Is that how they say it? Kissimmee, Florida. They were at a park, and they were like 2 feet of water in a kayak, and they were both of them, I guess they were in their 60s, and they got attacked by an alligator, and sadly it killed them. And so, gosh, I mean, what do you do? What do you do? Go find the alligator and just say, shame on you. What did you do? You're grounded. These people that go and I learned a word that the guys that go after these alligators, they're like they rescue alligators, maybe, I guess. And the name of their company, I think it's called Snap. So John Wayne said I learned who the IRS is this year. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, I got my taxes all done. Easy peasy. It was easy. I got that all behind me, and I even renewed my driver's license. I renewed my license and stuff. So, see, in Arizona, they don't want to see you for like 15 years or something like that. And here, I guess it's 3 to 5 years. You have to renew your driver's license. I don't know what it is in your states or whatever, but because last time of course, I had to, get a new license when I moved in 2021. I moved here, and that was probably the most expensive part because they had to have all this proof, because my name, my last name, and what my maiden name was, and I had to add proof what my maiden name was, and I had to go bring birth certificates in and divorce papers and all that stuff, and so it ended up costing me like $150 when everything was done, right? So this time it was really easy. Like I said, I had everything. You have to, what is that thing, that ID thing you have to have now or whatever? I already had that, so it was easy. But yeah, those poor people that got, Will Fly said, John Wayne, did you get audited? Yeah, that was always my worst nightmare when I was, but I paid my taxes every year, so it was all good. It was all good when I was working. I never had any issues. So, oh gosh, John, that's not good. Dang. Yeah, sometimes it'll catch up to you, So anyway, yeah, prayers to the family of that couple that got dragged, that the alligator. And then I thought about you guys, when you do the fly for gauge and getting those waters and stuff. But yeah, they were in some kind of a park, and the water was 2 feet deep. And like I said, the alligator attacked the kayak, and the husband was trying to fight off the kayak, and yeah, he didn't make it and all that stuff. So Bill H says I have to get that federal ID this month. Yeah, I already had mine, so I just renewed everything. I was going to get just an ID because I don't really drive anymore, but I had to keep it the same, so it's okay. I'm just, it cost me more money. It was like $18, but it cost me more money the first time when you move to a new state. It's a pain in the butt, to change. You have to change everything, all that stuff. So, and Will Fly said, at least they don't have to worry about taxes anymore. Yep. Just saying. So, some current event news, some little fun facts. Who all in the chat used to use Skype? How many used to have Skype? I know I did. Tell me. And I think Skype, wasn't it Skype and then Zoom came out? I think that's how it was. Remember Skyping? And you had to put passwords in, and then when somebody would call you on Skype, it would make that little music noise, the music or whatever. Do you remember that on Skype? Put in the chat if you guys used to use Skype. I did. John Wayne said he didn't. Anybody else try it? I tried it. Yeah, I used to use that quite a bit with the family. My family, we would try to Skype each other. And every time like I said, when they were getting, and Bill H says he didn't do Skype either. Oh, wow. And we'll say it only a few times. Yeah. I just remember if somebody was trying to jump in, wanted to talk to you, whatever, and you were live on Skype, like you'd send something over to a person's picture, and then that music would come on, and then they would pop in like this, in the screen, like how you see me now. It was pretty fun. But anyway, to tell you, the current news is Skype is shut down now. they shut it down. Skype was founded in 2003. So no more Skype. Probably because we got Skype and then we got Skype and then we had Zoom, right? And now we got all kinds of different live streams that you can do. Like I said, I watch my podcasts all day long and I just see how people do things. And it's kind of cool how they can sit down on the couch, but then you have to have an extra camera, right, in front of you. And then you sit down on the couch with someone, you talk, like Anthony Vella did. But then you got to invest in a lot of different things and props and all that stuff. And, it's like, no, it's too much money. But I just want to say hello to all my chatters. We got John Wayne, Scooby-Doo in the house, Munchkin. They're all out to dinner. We got Will Fly. We got Bill H, Cowboy John. I'm just, I'm always happy to have y'all here with me. So no more Skype. Skype shut down. And then the next one is, who remembers that perfume? Is it okay, Munchkin would know this. When I was growing up, I know my mom had this. It's a perfume called Chanel No. 5 perfume. It's called perfume. Y'all remember that? I think my mom used it, had it. Coco Chanel No. 5. Who remembers that? Put in the chat if you remember that. Coco Chanel. Remember that? No. 5 perfume. That stuff, I remember, that stuff smelled really strong. Anyway, that perfume is 104 years old. I wonder if it's the first perfume that ever came out. It was invented. What do you think? Do you think it is? 104 years old? My gosh. And so John Wayne, they're talking about military ID works as a Fed ID. And Scuba says, will you fix that? Yeah, no pressure, wondering. So that's cool. Everybody's all chatting. Everybody that's just jumping in and viewing and watching and all that stuff. I'm Paramount USA and you're at Lindy's Treehouse. And I'm here every Thursday night at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, I always have a super time with everybody on Thursdays. And we do call it Thankful Thursday because it's time to Thursday is a time to reflect and be thankful for things that you have and the people around you. And that's what the show's about. I like I said, I want people to leave here every time at the end of the show feeling inspired. And you all inspire me to do better. And I always appreciate your advice because you guys always give me good advice. And I learn not to, I put a lot of pressure on myself sometimes when I do the show. And it's all in, it's supposed to be all in fun. Can't take it that serious. So anyway, so that perfume was 104 years old. Chanel No. 5, just in case you know, little trivia, I guess you call it. And then there's another thing here. I'm being squirrely, but that ID thing, when I was in Arizona, I had to get that on my drive back in the day. How many years ago was that? I had to get that ID thing on my driver's license, or I couldn't get on an airplane. So pretty much I've had it for years, but now I guess they're making it mandatory, right, for people to have that federal ID little stamp thing on their driver's license. And then you pay a little extra. Before they would just ask you, do you want it? But now with everything's changed. I guess you have to have it. You have to put You have to have that on your driver's license. So anyway, moving right along, I read a boy was playing with mom's phone and he ordered 70,000 Dum Dum lollipops from Amazon. And the total purchase came to $14,200. How crazy is that? Dum Dum. Mommy left her phone laying around. Mommy's a dum dum. And yeah, the kid made a purchase. I wonder if she got her money back on that or something. $14,000, 70,000 dum dums. That's a lot of suckers. That's a lot. Wouldn't you say? I would say 70,000 dum dums. Oh my gosh. And they're not even that. They're even those little suckers. They're like this big now. Remember, they used to be big. Used to be big ones. And so my favorite ones are the Tootsie Rolls. The Tootsie Pops are my favorite. But they even the Tootsie Pops have shrunk to pretty small, right? So anyway, yeah. So the boy playing with the mom's phone ordered. He charged $14,200 on her card. So then we have, and then moving on, peacock escaped from the Tennessee Chattanooga Zoo, and they found it in a nearby resident's backyard. So can you imagine getting up in the morning, have a peacock sitting in your yard? And they make noises too. They're noisy. I think that's really funny. They're beautiful creatures, but from what I heard, they're really, really annoying. Yeah, they're loud. Peacocks are loud. So I'm trying to see, am I caught up here on current events? I think I am. Let me see. Let's see. Yep. Oh, no, got one more. An MU escaped a trailer in Pennsylvania highway. State police had to catch it. Can you imagine trying to catch an MU? An MU? John Waits, it happened to the Waltons. What happened to the Waltons? The peacock? They had to chase a peacock. Does that happen to the Waltons? Is that what you're saying? John Wayne. Yeah, so can you imagine the Pennsylvania Highway State Police trying to catch an MU? I think they can run pretty fast, if I'm correct. And then we had a former student, Will Fly says, I think the peacock is the male, right? And the female is the peacock. Okay. You know what? I don't know. I have no idea. I know that I can tell the difference between a female and a male ducks, because the female is always a lot louder than the male. Yeah. And that's how I can tell. And they're also a different color too. Because I used to have ducks when I had my farm. Wilf says the female is called a peahen. Oh, wow. That's good. That's good to know. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. And I guess turkeys are just called turkeys. Turkey, or maybe the turkey and a hen. I don't know. But I thought turkeys are just called turkeys. There's no other fancy name for a turkey except turkey. Then I have a former student returned college. He returned 3 library books. A college student, let's say, returned 3 library books. He checked out 20 years ago, and he just returned them. That's pretty funny, huh? 20 years ago. So now he doesn't have nightmares that that he was going to go to jail because he and we're probably all guilty of that. Because back in the day we had our library card, right? We had those little index cards. We could check out books, You had to make sure you brought them back a week later. And the librarian would stamp it. Remember, I wish I still had some books. My gosh. Remember that with the library? The stamp, they had this, like every time that you'd check out that book, they would stamp it. And they had a little card and they'd stamp it and stamp, so you could see all the people that had checked out that book. I used to love the library. We used to have a bookmobile, used to come down my street when I was growing up. That was pretty huge too, the bookmobile. I used to love that. I used to love the smell of the books, of new books. I know I'm weird. I'd be like smelling the pages, something about a new book. And that's something that kids today are really missing out on, the smell of new books, because now everything's on their laptops and everything else, right? So thank goodness he returned those books. Now, I'm sure that every Saturday he went to, if he was Catholic, he went to confession and confessed that he feels like he stole, he had 3 books he's been hanging on to for how many years. So I bet you could, I bet you could go to a thrift store and all the books that they have, they always have, which I love doing that. I go through all. Oh yeah, Will Fly said, me too. I love the smell. I remember book fairs. Yeah, the book fairs. Yeah. Oh, that was fun. You're right. You're right, Will Fly. Yeah, I like I said, I got off track here, but I remember, I remember the going on the bookmobiles. Yes, they would come down. They started doing that, coming down the street, and you get your books or whatever. I was saying you could probably go to like a thrift store, and I bet you could find, because I love going. I started collecting Bibles, and I would go to the thrift stores and I go to the bookshelves and look at all the books, and then I have books like on poetry, stuff that are like collectors. I love that, and so I say, I collect different Bibles from all different, they're really cool, from some older Bibles. And John Wayne said he ordered books from Junior Scholastics. Oh, yeah. And then you remember growing up when the guy, some guy would come and knock on the door and he sold my mom encyclopedias. Do you remember that? Encyclopedias. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I bet I can go home and go in the basement, and I bet the encyclopedias are still there. Growing up. Yeah, encyclopedias. When you had to do homework, what did you do? I went downstairs and I would look in the encyclopedias, and what's the other one? It begins with the B, John Wayne. You would know this one. There's encyclopedias, and let's see, Will Fly said, you remember the Highlight magazine? Yeah, it reminds me when I go to the dentist and we sit down. Oh, Will, skip my question. Fine. Are you yelling at me or at Will? Because I'm trying to follow the chat, and you know how I am with the chat. Scuba says, yes, I like the hidden pics. Yes. And Kirby vacuum cleaners. Yes. I remember looking at the Highlight magazines, and the Reader's Digest, sitting there in the dentist's office. They always had them on the table. And Scuba said, you're fine, Lindy. Okay. Thanks, Scooby. I try to pay attention to everybody, I just love like I said, I love what I do. I miss Gypsy Kramer. I miss her, but Thursdays is her day, to do her stuff. And then Michelle, my thumper there, she works her 2 jobs. So they're both busy ladies, but I check on them all the time. Pretty much every day. I send a good morning to my girls. Will Fly says, at Scuba, haven't messed with it yet. Maybe tonight. That front panel is freaking spring loaded with all the stuff in there. Oh, so Will, you're working on your van, getting it all ready for apples. for apples. Yeah, I'm going to call it for apples. I'm getting ready for apples. Yeah, I remember the Brican. It wasn't a. How'd you say that, John Wayne? There was encyclopedias. Then there was the other one. It was the green and white books. Green and white books. Britannica. Was it called Britannica? Come on, help me out here in my trivias. Remote start for the generator. Oh, okay. Yeah, those were never no fun to work on. Yeah. I could tell you some nightmare stories when we had our cute little fifth wheel, and we went out. We were at a rodeo ground, and let's see. Scuba said that's what's important. Linda, love what you do. It's not about making money, making all that money. That's right. Yeah. I do. I love you guys. It's so cool. I love my Thursdays, and yes, you all inspire me, and I want to inspire other people too. Even at the age of almost, like 4 days. In 4 days, I'll be 70. So if the people are listening and they're viewing and watching and listening, all my listeners and everything, I'm Paramount USA, and you are at Lindy's Treehouse, and I'm just YT is you do. Of course, I knew that, Scuba. Scuba says YT is YouTube. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I have to laugh when I get in some of my chats with my storm chasers, that they all know me. A lot of the, I get in the chats when I watch Storm Chasers and all that stuff, and they all know me in there, of course. And so they're like, "Hey, Paramount, good to see you." But they don't put "good to see you." They put the letters G, good, T, S, Y. And so now I started doing that. Good to see you. Yes. Yeah. So, even at this age, I'm picking up on some of the lingo, But I thought tonight, so I went through all the, we'll do a little trivia a little bit. Who's my favorite storm chaser? Gosh, I listened to Storm Runner Media. Will Fly was asking, what is your favorite storm chaser? I listened to Storm Runner Media. I watched DL and Garrett, and they're the most popular ones. And then in the mornings, it's usually Max Velocity. I listen to him. He does a really good weather thing. And then Evan, there's a Freiberger Evan. He does one too. So I kind of have all over the place. Scuba says I'm a storm runawayer. I don't know what kind of summer we're going to have. All I know is like in the 40s, high 40s today. It was nice. It was a nice day. And then yesterday, like I said, I walked to my store, and then I walked to the college, and I thought, well, I'll just, which was like a quarter of a mile, whatever. I walked to the college. I wanted to go on the indoor track, and the indoor track was, like I said, it was closed because graduation. They're doing pictures and everything, graduation pictures. So, because I have to go when I go to the college and I go to the track, it's actually upstairs. So I have to go up the stairs. It's like second floor or whatever. And so they have downstairs is the gym part. It's a beautiful college. It really is. I really enjoy going there and doing my walks around the track. It's really fun. I put my phone on and everything and meet some really cool people and all that stuff. But anyway, I thought tonight, because, I lived in there, little history here. I had moved to Arizona in 1980. Okay, so I grew up in Michigan. I was born in Michigan. And then I got married, and then I moved out to Arizona and in 1980. So Robert, my son Robert, was just a baby and all that. And, in Arizona, right in the Southwest, you have mountains like all around you. And that's the one thing I do miss is the mountains. I do. I have to say, I don't miss the heat. I don't really miss the people there. I still have a lot of rodeo peeps, but as far as, I lived in Arizona 40 years, 42 years, because Robert was just born when I moved from Michigan to Arizona. Because my husband at the time, there was no work in Michigan anymore. So I swear, I think we stayed in our house maybe a year, if that. And then he decided, because his parents, my ex-in-laws, they were already in Arizona, so we ended up moving there. I moved from Michigan to Arizona, and then so a total of, I should say a total of 40 some years. And then I got divorced, and then I got remarried again. And then, the first marriage, and then got divorced. And then I got married, met somebody else. I got married, and then I got divorced again. So 2 divorced. But anyway, that's how I made it here to Michigan. But the mountains, y'all have mountains where you're at, right? So I have different names for mountains, and I was kind of looking up some research for the mountains, because I think mountains, we kind of take them for granted, but that word, right? There's always songs about mountains, right? So you can even throw some songs in there. What songs have the word mountain in them? There's a lot of them. Ain't no mountain high enough, keep me away from you, babe. See? Come on, we'll do a little karaoke mountain. I know John Wayne, he'll put one in there. Play me some mountain music. Yeah, see? I can keep it going. I got my list of mountain songs here that we can sing, What else? Come on, throw a song at me. I already said, ain't no mountain high enough. Mountain music. Let's put some more songs. Put another song in there. I'm doing a little trivia here. My favorite song used to be Fire on the Mountain. Fire on the mountain, music in the air. Make them take me everywhere. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Yes, that's good. Yep. So the mountains have different meanings, right? Keep putting those songs in there. And then, of course, we had Julie Andrews, right? A Marshall Tucker band, yes. And, oh, yeah, we'll fly. Okay, we'll hit that button. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Everybody sing along. Like, pretend you're around the campfire tonight. I'm on a roll. It is Thursday. You never know, what we're going to talk about. We'll get karaoke going here. And then remember Julie Andrews, right? Climb Every Mountain, from Sound of Music. Climb every mountain, for every stream. Don't get me dancing. I'll start dancing around in the living room. And Miss Mallory would be like, what is her problem? Why is she doing that? So, So mountains. So they're the oldest mountain in, where do you think the oldest mountain is? And you can't Google it. Where do you think the oldest mountain, what country do you think the oldest mountain is in? I mean, I know in Arizona, we had some beautiful mountains. Superstition Mountain. I wrote it down, all the different mountains. Then we have Sierra Nevada mountains. Western North Carolina. Yep. Yeah. No, that's not the oldest mountain. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Yeah, it's not Western North Carolina. I looked this up. Um, the oldest mountain is. You'll be really surprised. The oldest mountain is in South Africa. So, Scuba says, "Go rest high on that mountain." Love that song. Just saying. I do too. Yes. Yes. There's so many cool songs out there. So many meanings to the mountains, you know. The oldest mountain range are the Appalachians, John Wayne says. They said that the oldest mountain is in South Africa. It's 3.5 to 3.6 billion years old. And mountains were actually formed at the floods. And then they were saying, like in Hawaii, when you see the mountains, sometimes you can only see maybe the tops of them or whatever. It's because they're still underwater. And I thought that was really interesting, and like in some places in Hawaii. And then of course the volcanoes. And we'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, it says some mountains like Maui Kea, Hawaii, are actually taller than they appear because a significant portion of the mountain is under the ocean. So, and they said Mount Everest is still growing by about 44 millimeters per year. Isn't that crazy? Oh, great. Let's see. John Wade said the oldest mountains range are Appalachians, and then Bill H says Kilimanjaro. That name sounds familiar. I bet I wrote it down in here somewhere. Bill H. I'm sure that's what it. Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was or whatever. But they have. It says. Let's see. Let me look here. So I wrote some things down. I have some names of the mountains. We have the Rocky Mountains, Appalachian, Sierra Nevada, Cascade Range, and Coast Range. And I thought I wrote down on here some of the, because I got notes everywhere, so just bear with me. The Blue Ridge Mountains, yes, that's in North Carolina, right? The Blue Ridge Mountains. I wrote down what the mountains, like what they symbolize too, and it's kind of cool. So I'm going to ask everybody. Let's see, Ozarks, yes. The Ozark mountains, yes. They're very, the mountains are very, what do you call it? They can be very spiritual. You know, they're very biblical. The mountains are very biblical. I remember when I had my house in Arizona, when the boys were growing up, we lived off the mountain. We lived right near the mountain preserve in Phoenix, Arizona. And we used to sit in the backyard and watch the fireworks. And I remember those fireworks going off, and the mountains would just rock, you know, it was just amazing. Like the echo, you know, and the mountains bounce off the mountains. It was so loud. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that. I wrote down, Blue Ridge Mountains is North Carolina. And then they said Louisiana is Driscoll Mountain in Louisiana. So I thought that was interesting. But it says here, and then we talk about, what do you think the mountain symbolizes? And I wrote down what it symbolizes too, because it is a very spiritual. Mountains are, you know, you can read like quotes and what's your mountain? John Wayne says, I hated living in the mountains. And Bill said 535 feet. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of people still. I'm sure there is a lot of people that still live up in the mountains. It's you see, well, in Arizona, you see houses built that were built right into the side of the mountains and all that. And that's all good, but it's not for me. Mountains. Hey, this looks like a good place to launch. Yeah. Yeah, no kidding, right? The mountains, Scuba said. Yeah, Scuba said, hey, this looks like a good place to launch. Mountains symbolize permanence and motionlessness. And its peak, spirituality signifies the state of absolute consciousness. I know this is a lot. Yeah, Bill H says Driscoll Mountain. That's right. Yeah. Yep. In dreams, a mountain signifies danger, but climbing a mountain depicts inner elevation. So when you guys are flying your paramotors, you are like, yeah, you feel like you're climbing a mountain, right? You feel like you're doing inner elevation, as the saying goes. It's kind of cool. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going through my notes, so bear with me here because I did write some more stuff and I don't want to miss anything because we always talk about all kinds of stuff. And I thought I had more information about the mountain. I know there was a lot of things about, I don't know. Give me some more fun facts about the mountains. Like, I love to walk, but I'm not a hiker, so I've never really hiked a mountain before. How many have hiked a mountain? Put in the chat if you've done some hiking in the mountains and what that was like. But it's amazing. Some of these mountains are still growing. So, yeah, you can put in the chat any info you want about mountains, or I think the mountains are really pretty in the wintertime with the snow. I miss that, seeing the snow on top of the mountain. Will Fly says, I gave you one about Mauna Kea. I can't pronounce all those names. Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one, Will. Yeah, that's a really good one. So we're gonna switch it over, of course, like we do. I know we're talking about mountains. I don't want to, bore you guys or whatever, my guys and gals. Like I said, I write all kinds of stuff. I've been giving away another thing. Yeah, I'm gonna have a secret word later on. I'm waiting for Scotty to get in the chat if Scotty's listening, because we do trivia every week, and I've already had congrats. I give koozies away in the chat, but you have to be present to win if you want a koozie. Let's see. Bill says highest mountains have been is Mount Magazine, Arkansas. Wow. And John Wayne says I prefer molehills. I don't know. I did actually. I did. I think it was Pinnacle Peak, the mountain or whatever. I think I climbed that. Of course, then I was in my 30s, right? So I was way younger, and it was easy to do that kind of climbing. To try to do it now, no, I would not. I can't even hardly walk up a slopey, like the ravines and like around my house and stuff. Some of the ravines, they're a lot steeper than they look. And I tried to go up one of the ravines one day, and I was like, nope, that ain't gonna work, because I thought I was gonna take a shortcut back to the apartment, and I couldn't even get up the ravine without help, I'm sure. Oh, hi, Scott. Welcome, Scotty French Fry. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, we always do. Everybody that's just jumping in, I'm Paramount USA, and you're at Lindy's Treehouse, and I'm here every Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm just so happy to have all my chatters in the house tonight. Everybody just kind of hanging out. But I have to say, I give away koozies every week. some beautiful koozies. I've already gave koozies away to Will Fly, Bill H, Munchkin, and Scotty. Bill H, did you get your Bill H? Say yes or no if you got your koozie yet, because I just mailed Bill H's koozie to him, and but I have another surprise, everybody. When I was out shopping over the weekend, because I go to my, cute dollar store, and I'm always looking for things to give away on the show, right? Just fun little things. Little, next time I'm there, I'm going to find like keychains or something. Or I'll find some funny stickers and, I'll give away stickers because they're really easy to. Bill said no waiting at the mail now. Okay. Oh, wait in the mailbox. Okay. Yeah, you should get it pretty soon. But I appreciate, but you can't win these things if you're not in the chat, everybody that's listening. Okay. You have to be present to win. So maybe Tony and Angela must be busy tonight because I haven't seen them in the chat yet. Maybe they're listening. But hi, Tony, Angela, and also I have to say hi to Shani, if you're out there. So anyway, check this out. I was at the dollar store, and I thought, how cool would this be? So you kind of have a choice between koozies or look at this. Check it out. Look at these socks. Look at these socks, peeps. And my pair of peeps will get this. Because I see when people, I don't know who it is that sends you the Airhead candies, right? I forgot who does that. You have to help me out. One of the pair of peeps does that when he sends them props or whatever. Oh, really, Will Fly? Aren't these cool? Scott says, I love Airhead candies. Yeah, these are socks. Oh, Sky Sports gives them. Okay. So I saw these and I bought like four pairs of these, okay, at the dollar store. I kid you not. And so, like I said, there's no, if you get in the chat and you guess the right answer or whatever, then yeah, you win it. So maybe some people might win something every week. I don't know, I only have so many people in the chat as it is. And that's why I'm trying to encourage people to come on in, jump in the chat so you can win some stuff, right? Because you can't win if you don't play. But yeah, so I'm going to be giving these away, but you'll have a choice if you want the Airhead socks or if you want the koozies. And people that are listening, let's see, can you ship them overnight FedEx? I don't think so, Will. I can throw them a nice, pretty bubble wrap, bubble thing or whatever, and I can get them, send them to you. You got to win these, okay? I'm not just gonna, send me a pair, because these are for the show, giveaways or whatever. But see, we have the koozies. I have this one. If you're in the tie-dye, or if you just like, the American flag, whatever. Yeah. So Scotty also, I almost forgot. So Scotty, it was the winners so far. Will Fly, Bill H, Munchkin, and Scotty all got, and Bill H is waiting on his koozie. But I thought these were really cool. So I got them at the dollar store. Yeah, they always have these all funny socks there. But when I saw these, I was like, oh, yeah, definitely. I grabbed 4 pairs. And I thought, oh, my peeps, they'll be excited. They'd be really excited to have. But it's more fun to try and win them, instead of me just sending them out to people or whatever. I mean, that's an idea, I guess. But, yeah. So I grabbed whatever they had on the shelf. and I was pretty excited about it. So, okay, so we're going to do some more questions. Okay. Let me see. I'm going through this here. Okay, let's do true or false. Okay. Is it true or false? Butterflies cannot fly if they are cold. True or false? Scotty said definitely French fry today. My line packed 88,000 pounds of crinkle fries today. Dang. That's crazy. That's a lot of French fries. 88,000 pounds French fries. Yeah. So, butterflies can't fly if they are cold. That's right. Yeah, it's true. It is too cold. Butterflies are immobile. Their ideal body temperature is around 30 degrees. How crazy, right? Yeah, that's right. Good answers, guys. Y'all got it right. Y'all said true. And then, okay, so, yeah, I was talking about my birthday earlier. I know I'm going all crazy and everything. Because my birthday is Sunday, Mother's Day, and they would have to have a lot of birthday candles on my cake. You're talking 70 candles. They would probably set off the smoke alarm, right? To have all those candles on my birthday. But I remember growing up, my family always made a big deal of my birthdays, of our birthdays. True, can't fly either when I'm cold. That's right, John Wayne. That's right. You and me both. Oh my gosh. Okay, so how long are caterpillars in a cocoon before they're butterflies? So you can't Google it. You just gotta see. I'll see if you get it right. How long do you think they're in a cocoon? The butterflies are in a cocoon before they come out of the cocoon. Scott says enough to be a fire hazard. yeah. My birthday candles. Yes. Let's see. Will said 6 months. I'm going to wait and see, put some more answers in there, and then I'll tell you what it is. But make sure you're listening, because at the end, I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to guess what the word of the night is. Okay. So, and Scott said 4 months. It's actually 18 days, sometimes 5 to 21 days. So I had a gal that you can actually buy kits. And I had a gal that bought a kit, and she actually had 5 or 6 butterflies that actually she got them and they were all in their cocoons. And it was like a little project for the kids, for her grandson. And they actually, she'd be on Facebook and she would show, they're like, each day, it took so many days, right? But each day a cocoon would open up and turn into a butterfly. And by the time everything was said and done, she had like 6 butterflies inside this little net looking thing or whatever. And then the kids were able to, what an experience, right? The kids were able to take the netting thing outside and let the butterflies go. So, I mean, what an educational toy that is, right? To see those butterflies come out of the cocoon. So I thought that was kind of cool. So that's kind of our true or false, right? So I'm having fun because we're kind of going everywhere here. Scott says, I know a guy in New Zealand that does that. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool, Scott. That's really cool. So, and then we can talk about, let's see. All right. Let's say, okay, if someone made a movie about, okay, first I'm going to say my life, and you can say, if someone made a movie about my life, it would be titled what? So I want y'all to put something in the chat, what you think. If there was a movie about my life. And then I'm going to ask you guys the question. If someone made a movie about my life, it would be titled what? It's pretty funny. Oh, Scott, he does. Oh, Scott said that dude also electrocutes wasps. Ew, gosh, that isn't the way I'd want to go. I wouldn't want to be electrocuted. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be electrocuted. It's all right. It's all right. So, if someone made a movie about my life, it would be titled what? So, you guys think of something, put it in the chat. What you think a movie would be like? Scott says they're invasion species. Maybe Flashdance. Oh, yeah. She's a maniac for sure. Yeah, that's me. That's me. I love that. Yeah, Flashdance. I love that movie too. That's a good answer, Will. That's really good. Scuba says, I have had Charlie horses in my left calf the last 3 nights. What the heck? Oh, gosh. Did you check your potassium level? Because sometimes when you have no potassium, Scott says nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, good Lord. Some days, yes. Some days, yeah. Some days it feels like that. Yeah. No, my life felt like that for quite a few years. Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah. That was yes. That's funny. But I like the Flashdance. Yes. Yeah. Um, that's my favorite. That's my favorite movie ever. Yes. And I always told my mom when I was growing up I wanted to be a dancer, but I can't dance for crap anymore. Seriously. So somebody else put another guess in there. What you think? If there was a movie about me, what would the name of the movie be? You're funny, Scott. Nightmare on Elm Street. You're funny. Well, I'm trying to think what it would be because there's so many movies out there. Gosh, I don't know. I know my favorite song. I always that Faith Hill sings. She's a wild one with an angel's face. That's me. Yeah, that's me. Especially growing up. Just ask my mom. I was so quiet, like in school, And then when I got out of high school, then I was like, I was like the wild child. I was like fly by the seat of my pants. My mom never knew from one day to the next where I was going, what I was doing. I was always just like, I would just go and do things or whatever. Yeah, I'm Scuba. Oh, Scuba. I'm sorry. Wow, that's painful. Did you check your potassium level? Because I know if I'm not staying hydrated, I will get yeah. It sounds like your potassium is low. You're lacking something, in your vitamins or whatever, or you're not staying hydrated enough. That'll do it. Yeah, that's painful. That's really painful. I used to get those a lot. Well, when I was drinking, and I would get, especially those party nights, the rodeo and stuff, and I would bring potassium vitamins with me, and I would take those even before, and vitamin B's before I'd even start drinking, and then I would take potassium before I go to bed, because I would get those Charlie horses because drinking get dehydrated really easily. But that was my problem anyway. But yeah, I drink a lot of water during the day. Plus, it keeps the kidney stones away, right? So the next one. Okay, so here's another question. Let's see. John Wayne says, at Scuba, eat a teaspoon of yellow mustard. NFL uses it. It works. Oh, wow. Mustard, huh? Wow. I never even thought of that. That's cool. Dang. Mustard. Huh. Okay. Um, he said he has mustard every day at lunch. Yeah, that's me. I always have mustard. Scuba said he has mustard every day at lunch. Yeah, I've got maybe buy a bottle of seasoning, mustard seeds. I need some mustard seeds or something. Scuba says, I got magnesium spray. I will try tonight. Yeah, I used to literally have to put, that Therma, Therma, or what is it, Bengay or Therma, whatever, and put that on. Yeah, Therma works too on my leg. Yeah, I would get those Charlie horses. And I remember even sometimes back in the day when I'd go out to weddings and if you're not used to wearing those heels, that'll do it too. Scuba Will said, have you tried tricidin? Tricidin? Hey, I got another note. I got to show you all real quick. My sister-in-law Kim sent me a birth. She makes her own birthday cards, and she drew this. And look at the birthday card she sent me today. Y'all gotta look. Is this the cutest ever? Look at that. She's quite the little artist, isn't she? I just love it. Thank you, Kim. Kim, if you're listening, I love you so much. It was so thoughtful of her. You know, she made this card, and does it look like me on there? Look at that. She's got me like sitting in a little I'm sitting in a little seat. How cute is that? Can y'all see that? Yeah, my sister-in-law. Isn't that cute? Yeah, my sister-in-law, Kimmy. She sent this to me today. I love you, Kim. I love my sister-in-law. She's awesome. And so she was laughing because I told her, I said, I'm gonna show this. I want to show this on the show, you know. Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? Yeah, Will Fly said it's an awesome picture. Yeah, she's a better illustrator than I am. I can't draw I try, but I have to have different things to help me draw things if I'm going to do any paintings or anything. Yes. So, and then my best friend that lives in Florida, she sent me a card today with some money, and pretty cool. She's, I feel very loved. I feel very loved by all of you too, that you're here tonight. I really have a lot of fun with this. So when you guys and gals were growing up, where did you swim most growing up? Did you swim in a lake, a pond, a pool, a creek, a stream, or an ocean? Where'd you all go swimming when you were growing up? I grew up in a suburb, so we always had a pool in the backyard. So I swam in the pool. Yep, pool in the backyard, Will. Yep. Unless we were on vacation, and then I, go and swim in the lake. But we always had a pool in the backyard. Yeah, that was fun. John Wayne said Lake northern Wisconsin. Okay, a lot of you swim in the lakes. Good answers. I like that. That's cool. Yeah, I the only time I would go, unless we went to the beach, with my friends, I would go in the water. But most of the time, John Wayne said water got hard in the winter. Yeah. A little hard to swim in the wintertime here. I don't go in the water anymore anyway. And I'm like, I'll go in a pool, but I don't like the idea of going in the lake. If I can't feel the bottom, touch the bottom, I don't go in. If I can't feel the bottom of the lake, Well, it was like last summer when we had the girls' weekend with my sisters. We took the boat out. Her husband has a really nice boat, and we went and we parked it at the sandbar. And this was in Holland, Michigan, at the lake there. And we parked it at the sandbar. And that was quite an experience. Yep. You just kind of, throw the anchor out there, and all boats around us. And I got off the boat, and I had my little floaty or whatever. And if I could, as long as I could feel the bottom, it was shallow where we were at. So as long as I could feel the bottom, it was, I was okay. But if I can't feel the bottom or stand there, I won't go in the water. But I know when I had my pool in Arizona, I always had every year I'd go, to the grocery store or whatever, and buy an inner tube. I always had a brand new inner tube every summer. So fun. Will Fly said, has anyone done one of those jumps in a frozen lake challenge? No. Have you, Will? Have you jumped in a lake? Anybody? Have you jumped in a lake? I've never jumped off of cliffs. I've never jumped in a lake, a cold, frozen lake or whatever. John Wayne said, not on purpose. No. And that's one thing. That's why when I see y'all flying and people are trying, and I see people on Facebook trying to foot drag, that's so dangerous, the foot dragging, because a lot of times that can't, that can't end well at all. I hope nobody does that, tries to do foot dragging when they got somebody on a tandem with them. I think they would. Wouldn't you think that would be kind of illegal to be foot dragging with somebody doing a tandem with you, trying to foot drag in the water? Wouldn't that take you both down, whether it be paragliding or paramotoring? I would think it would. John Wayne says, I've gone through the ice several times as a kid. Deadly. Oh my God, John. That's awful. Scuba says, I did do the ice bucket challenge. That's cold. Oh gosh. No doubt. That would be cold. That would be really cold. So yeah, I like your answers. Okay. So here's another question. Everybody, let's start a thread of random advice. Okay. No specific topic, just great advice. So we're going to do so John Wayne's, Will Fly said, John Wayne, that's terrible. Did you survive? Man, a lot of people have, I've heard of some people that have survived those, falling through the ice, but sometimes it's like you're never the same, especially if you lose consciousness, gosh. Look at, what was I going to say? I'm trying to think real quick here. My mind's going all over the place. Let's see. Scott says, never play leapfrog with a unicorn. And Scuba says, we got Munchkin's sister drunk and driving her home now. Oh boy. I remember those days. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So so anyway, see, she goes, it was only 2 margaritas. Geez. Oh, only two margaritas would put me under. Woo-wee. I'd be like happy-go-lucky for sure. I remember drinking those margaritas, and the next day I would have such a headache. I could only drink maybe 1, maybe 2, but I used to like the what do I want to say? The wine coolers. Wine coolers. They were margarita wine coolers. Those were always pretty good, but they're so sweet. They're really sweet. John Wayne says, got stuck overnight outside in below 0 temperatures after going through the ice, nearly died. Got real lucky on that one. I guess you did, John. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's that's no fun at all. No fun at all. Oh, I was going to say, remember, this was how many years ago? 3 years ago? 4 years ago now? At least 4 years. Um, when Doug Martin, remember when he fell through the ice on his paramotor? Do you remember that? He almost died. Yeah, when he was flying in the dead of winter, and I remember watching him on live, on my phone. He had his phone, and he was videotaping himself flying, and yeah, and then he crashed in the lake, and thank God he was near residential area or whatever, and they saw him go into the water, and they called the paramedics and everything, and he's doing really good now, but he had, man, talk about just a lot of therapy and everything, right? And it happened on Valentine's Day. I remember now. So, yeah. So, okay. So we're going to do this here, and then I'm going to, I remember, yeah, with my birthday, I remember my mom going to the store and buying like all the birthday candles. And now I'm sure they're pretty tinier, right? And I don't think they have the birthday candles, the ones you blow out the candle and then they come back on. I don't think they had those fancy stuff yet. But I remember, finding, for days, we'd find those little tiny candles laying around on the floor, or somewhere in the house, little waxy things or whatever. But we always made a big deal on our birthdays when I was growing up. It was pretty fun. Well, then they didn't have the number candles yet. I don't know when they came out with number candles, but they had, I remember you could just put those, however old you were, that's how many candles you'd put on your cake. So anyway, so if you were to, okay, we're starting a random thread of random advice, no specific topic, just great advice. So if you were to give me advice, or give advice just to the people in general right now, let's say, because a lot of people are listening, what would you say? Because we're all kind of at different ages. So what advice would you give to the younger kids? Scuba says, oh, took her inside. This is as far as I go. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I love drinking margaritas, but I don't miss it. I don't miss drinking anymore. I don't miss it. But so what kind of advice would you give your younger self? Let's put that one. What advice would you give your younger self today? I think mine would be is not to think that I had to be in a relationship to be happy. I learned that I had to find myself first. There's so many people that just go in from, get married, divorce, married, divorce, married, divorce. And I had to, I think I learned a lot about myself as far as, that I couldn't depend on somebody else for my happiness. So I'm just going to say, don't look for somebody else for your happiness. Okay. You got to find it inside of you first, and then you can share your happiness. Scott says, appreciate and respect your elders. They deserve it. They know more than you do and have gone through shit you haven't yet. Other than buy Apple, best advice I can think of is to be kind to others. That's great. I like that. Yeah. Yep. The advice I have to say, that Scuba says, don't be a fool, wrap your tool. There you go. That's a good one, Scuba. just I'm learning. No, just be yourself. You know, like I said, I was so worried about, oh, well, they're gonna think about my show and this and that and this and that, and I just get on here and I have to have fun with it and not take it so seriously. John Wayne said, "Don't buy Radio Shack." Yeah, Radio Shack. I like that store though. That was a fun little store before all the big stores. Will Fly said, "Munchkin, is that you using Steve's phone again?" That's funny. Hey, I got a funny joke. You guys want to hear it? It's just a real quick one. Back in the dating days or whatever, Scuba says, "Nah, it's me." Scuba's on his phone. You guys are awesome. I love everybody. So my joke is, I used to date the mailman, not mailman. I used to date the milkman, and I used to date a milkman, and then it went sour. See, when you can laugh at your own jokes, you know, I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, I used to date the milkman, and our relationship went sour. So I had to share that. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. My little joke of the night. See, and if Shaney was listening, this is like a Shaney joke, right? I thought it was pretty funny. You hear about the guy who got addicted to drinking brake fluid? He couldn't stop. I like this. Okay, throw those jokes in there. Throw them in there. I want everybody just throw in those silly riddles, silly things. I think that's funny. You guys all crack me up. That's a good one, Will. I think mine's funnier, though. Scuba, nice. Anybody else have any funny ones they want to put in there? Oh my gosh, you guys. That's all I got. I like that. I remember growing up, be in school or whatever, and they'd say, "You have ants in your pants?" So I think I was born with ants in my pants. I think so, because it's hard to sit still. And not even that, my brain goes 24/7. And now that we have all this technology, right, it's even more so, I think. So I was reading something here, and then I'll have you guys guess what the topic or what the word of the day is. Okay. It's actually 2 words, but yeah. But I want to read this here because we were talking about mountains, right? So because we'll be closing the show in a little bit here. It's called Help the Earth. Okay, Help the Earth, because we were talking mountains. Scuba wants to, what's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone? What is it? What's the difference? What's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone? You can put the answer in there. You guys, my sillies, you guys are so silly. You are all so silly. What's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone? I have no idea. So you all put that, whatever the answer is, because I don't know. So I copied this, and it says about to help the earth. I've never heard an enzyme. I never heard an enzyme. I don't get it. It went over my head. Who wants to live between an enzyme and a hormone? I never heard an enzyme. I'm trying to think what that I don't get the joke, Scuba. But I heard a hormone. Okay, I'm going to have to really think about this. Oh my God, now you will get it. But I've heard of a hormone. Okay, I get it now. Oh my God. Scuba. Well, I asked for it, right? I told you to put some jokes in there. So, we were talking about the mountains and all that. Help the earth. So this is advice I would give to all the young, to me, to the young people and everything. That's so wrong, Scuba. That's so wrong. We're only borrowing the earth while we're here. We must hand it on to the next generation. Let's do what we can to improve it, or at least do as little damage as possible. Do the simple things, right? It will start. No, that's good. Well, I think I actually started it. I started it, and then with my joke, yes, and then Will chimed in, and then Scuba. So that's pretty funny. Yes. Yeah, Scuba, that was just terrible. What's wrong with you? Oh, that was funny, Scuba. That was funny. So yeah, so how you can help the earth is you can walk, ride your bike, carpool, catch a bus, and watch over our oceans and protect the forests. So, there's a saying here. They say, yeah, scuba. Okay, so I'm caught up on the chat. The world is a fine place and worth fighting for. So who do you think said that? It's a poet. The world is a fine place and worth fighting for. Who do you think said that? It's kind of little history. Little saying whatever. So anybody can guess. You can guess. I think I talked just about everything tonight. All my no, not Dick Cheney. No. I know you'll remember it. Anybody can guess? The world is a fine place and worth fighting for. So I'm glad that I could give advice. And anybody else put in there, if you were to give advice to your younger self, what you would say. And mine is, don't put your happiness in somebody else's pocket. Okay, don't do it. Don't do it. You got to be happy with yourself first. I was so eager to get into relationships, and Disney. No, not Disney. It was actually Ernest Hemingway said it. Will Ernest Hemingway said that. So yeah, we all want to. I think sometimes my first marriage, I got married so I could get out of the house. That's how you thought when you were in your 20s. I got married at 21, 22 years old. So, BTW. What's BTW? BTW. What's BTW? All right, I'm going to ask the question. All right. So I already have the word of the night. The word of the night. So I want you to put in the chat. See, whoever guesses will get a pair of these if you guess what my word of the night is. Scuba says Munchkin's sister had her shirt on inside out, but after one drink she fixed it live in public. Oh no. Oh my God, Scuba. That's funny. That's what happens. I could tell you some stories, stuff I used to do. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I used to get on. Yeah, go on. Go on. Oh, yeah. I don't know. My mom could be listening. My family could be listening. Yeah, we'd do some pretty crazy stuff, especially the rodeo after parties. Man, oh man. I mean, they'd have tables set up and people just pouring drinks like crazy afterwards. Hopefully she had on her over the shoulder boulder holder. Oh, I hate those. The boulder holders. What else she'll do after 2? Oh my goodness. No. Molly's visiting me, so you know what that means. So what word are you saying hi? You saying hi to Scott? Yeah. You saying hi? So what word okay, so yes, black with white spots. Victoria has no more secrets. So does my wife. She's a DD. Oh geez. Yep, there's Molly. She knows it's almost 10 o'clock and she knows that we get ready and close everything up, close the show. All right, you guys pay attention. What is the word? What word? I don't want her to jump on the laptop. That would not be good. What what word did we talk about? What do you think is the word of the night? Because you all had to be listening about what I was talking about tonight. So whoever guesses it. Bye, John. Nope, not mountains will fly. Bye, John. Take care. Thank you for coming, hanging out in the chat. Yeah, listeners, viewers, thank you for watching tonight. I'm Paramount USA. This is Lindy's Treehouse. And we give away fun stuff. And Molly's like all looking here or whatever. So, nope, not butterflies. You got to think what was the topic tonight? Like what was, I kept bringing up the subject, the same subject or whatever. See if you can guess it. It's 2 words. What do you think it was? Can anybody? Because remember I told you had to pay attention. Nope, not random advice either. I know you guys know it because I kept bringing it up. I kept talking about this certain things. It was two words. 2 words. Remember, we kept talking about, you see, Molly, we kept talking about stuff. I know you guys can guess it because I can't make it really easy. Molly's creeping me out. Oh, yeah, you don't like cats. I forgot. Yeah, I have to smoosh her off the table here because I don't want her stepping on this here. I missed a lot because as a restraint. Because if nobody guesses it, then I can't give anything away tonight. So what did I keep talking about? On and off through the live stream. I don't want to give too many hints because I want you guys to guess it. If you were paying attention. Scott said my wife distracted me for a bit. Will, you're close. You're close. Will's close. He almost has it. So it wasn't happy birthday, but it had to do with the birthday. Okay, there you go. No, not birthday cake. Getting older. You guys are really, really close. Okay, you got the birthday part right. Let's see who can guess it first. No, not birthday wishes. I know you guys are so close. You are so close. No birthday party. It's like between Scott and Will, they're going at it now. See, and my chatters people watching and everything, if you don't get into the chat room, then you can't win if you don't play. Come on, you guys are so close. You're so close. It's not birthday wishes. It's not birthday party. You're so close. Who's going to take home the socks tonight? Who is going to take home the socks? No, not 70th birthday. You're so close, you guys. It has birthday in it. It has birthday in it. I want somebody to go home with these tonight. Don't get frustrated, viewers and listeners or whatever. See, and even people that are listening, not birthday month, nope. The people who are listening or whatever, maybe during the show can jump on the chat. And if you jump on the chat, even if somebody just jumps in and guesses it, that they will get, somebody's going to get a pair of socks sent to them. Not birthday gift either. I know. See, I couldn't wait. I didn't want to make this too easy. Not birthday card. Nope. You guys are close. You're getting there, though. Scott wins. So, Scott, you're going home. I'm going to send you some socks. So there you go. So Scott won tonight. Birthday candles. Good job. Good job. Dang it, Scott, you Googled that. Did you Google that? Did you Google that, Scott? I don't think you did. I hope you didn't, because that'd be cheating. That's no fun. Scuba birthday suit. Scott got it. Birthday candles. Birthday candles. So Scott wins the socks tonight. Congratulations, Scott. So I'll send those out. And like I said, my listeners out there, my viewers and all that, you can't win if you don't play. And if you don't get in the chat, you can't win some nice win koozies and win these cool socks. So next week, I'll give them away again. So I'll be going to the dollar store periodically and picking up different things. So I'll have a whole bag of goodies, just fun things to give away. You're welcome, Scott. So anyway, I really enjoyed having you all here tonight, and I so appreciate my chatters. I know I get it. A lot of people are busy, doing other things and all that, but I know y'all watch the show later, and come back next week. Well, I know you guys are going to be in. Greg Laney, Greg. Oh man. Just got back from a work dinner. Hi, Greg Laney. You just missed the giveaway. So next week, if you can get here. And, you guys are going to be in. When are you all leaving for apples? When's everybody leaving for apples? Oh yeah, Scott. Oh yeah. Will you have watched more House of Usher? So Greg Laney's in the house. Everybody say hi to Greg. Greg, next week or whatever. Look at these, Greg, because Greg didn't see these. I'm giving these away when we do our trivia stuff, our word of the day, word of the night, or whatever. And Scott just guessed what we talked about tonight, and because my birthday's Sunday, Greg. So the word of the night was birthday candles. And so you guys had to guess what we talked about. So next week, hey, Joe. Hey, you guys. That's all right. Better late than never. You just missed the trivia. But the ones that are just watching now, look at, check it out. So I'm giving away these socks. Aren't they cool? So, so we have our next week, we do another trivia thing or whatever. Scuba says I'm leaving Tuesday night, early Wednesday for Spring Wing. Okay. I'm still going to do a show next Thursday because not everybody's going to the fly-in, and we'll just hang out. I'll figure something out. I don't even have to have people in the chat. But if you do show up in the chat next week, that's fine. While you're at the fly-in, that'd be cool. You can still watch it on your phone. You can still watch me on Thursdays on your phone or whatever. But Greg, what do you think? Aren't these cool? So Scott Savage won these tonight. And so who was the pilot that posted videos wearing different socks every time he flew? That was Chris Wheeler. That was Chris Wheeler. He was the one that when he'd fly a lot. I think Chris Wheeler is in, he did My Dog is Choking. And Chris Wheeler is in, I think he lives in Colombia now. So we don't see him very much on Facebook. I don't see him on Facebook very much. Will Fly says beating my dog. She said 2 words, scuba. So, yeah. Oh, you mean you talk about the trivia thing? Yeah, you guys are good. So I'll get these out to you next week, Scott. All right. I already stocked up on my bubble envelopes or whatever. So anyway, I'm not going to stay on too long. I know I'm going to see Joe Adele in a few weeks at the Torchport Flying Memorial Weekend, and Bonnie Franz. I'm going to see Bonnie and Brian, and I'm hoping to see JD, and Eric. I hope they'll, as far as I know, they're going to be there. So I'm going to see a bunch of people that I saw there last year. So I'm really excited. So I'm hoping somebody will get me up in the air for my birthday. So we'll see. Because, my birthday's Sunday. Like I told everybody, I'm going to be 70 years old. So I want to inspire people. You're never too old to try new things. And I decided to try this last year. And 49 shows later, here I am. And it just keeps getting easier and keeps getting better. Because you guys, because of you, I do the show. You guys encourage me and all that stuff, I'm just super, super happy every week when I do the show. So I always say closing. I'm so grateful for your support. Your loyalty means the world to me. Thank you for being a part of my journey. Thank you, Greg. Thank you. Yeah, it'll be a good weekend. I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, what a milestone, right? A lot of people don't make it this far. And so I'm super excited all day, like a little kid, for my birthday. But Greg, because you came in later or whatever, and Joe, I'm glad you're here, you guys. I have to brag on this picture. Look at my, Greg, look at my sister-in-law made this birthday card today. And I thought it was so super cute. I want to frame it. And I have to say thank you, Kimmy. Yeah, she sent this to me today. And I love homemade stuff like this. I really do. I think it's like, way better than Hallmark. This is Kimmy card. Yes. So, yeah, she made that. Does it look like me it's got the little seat and everything? I thought it was very artistic. So, very, very happy. Really good day. Real good day. Every day is a good day. And I think, I think I'm doing a Mother's Day brunch on Sunday. So, oh, I know, right? Yeah, Greg said I should make a sticker out of that design for sure. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Yeah, Mother's Day birthday coming up pretty fast. It's coming up pretty quick. But like I said, I'm hoping, and I told Joe that I'm hoping to get up in the air and all that. So before I close, so on Tuesday nights, we have Tuesday night hangout with Shane, Will Fly, and Nick J on Tuesdays. And thank you, Will Fly. Will Fly said, thanks for the show, Linda. Happy Mother's Day. Paramom, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. So we have Tuesday Tuesday nights, we have hangout with Tuesday night hangout with Shane, Will Fly, and Nick J. It's always super fun. And then we go to Thursday, Lindy's Treehouse every Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We always have a really good time. We talk about life. We talk about birthdays. We give advice to each other. Yeah, thank you, Scott. Yeah, and Mother's Day too. I know. I'm gonna make out like a bandit. Pretty excited. It only comes around like 5 years, right? Every 5 years or whatever, lands on Mother's Day. So, yeah, thank you, Bill. Thank you so much. Bill said, good show. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you all. And then Thursday is me, of course. And then Friday is Scuba Babes with Scuba and Lovely Munchkin. So, yeah, I love following everybody's show. I love doing the show for you. I do it for me too because I enjoy it, but I also do it for you guys. And also that I can inspire other people that you're never too old to try new things. Ooh, never too old to try new things, right? And then I had a revelation. It's like Scott says her grandma was 39 for years. There you go. There you go. And I had a revelation because you notice my voice hasn't really been cracking. Like sometimes when I do my show, I'm like talking like an old lady. I was reading up on something. It says not to drink soda or coffee before you do a live show because it dries your throat out, dries you out or whatever. So I thought that was really really cool advice. So let me read this real quick, and we're gonna end the show. I want to stay a little longer because a lot of my peeps jumped in, and I have to say a shout out to all my chatters. We have Scott. Scott was in the house. Let's see, memory thing. I'm doing a memory thing here. Scott's in the house. We had Bill H. We had Cowboy John. We had Scuba. Did I say Will Fly? We had Munchkin in the house. Greg Laney and Joe Adele stopped by. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button and the notification so you know when the show is going to be on. Leave a comment, in the chat, or leave a heart in the chat, or birthday. Leave birthday. Go ahead and put birthday cake thing in the chat. Like put a little birthday cakes in the chat for me real quick. That'd be fun. That'd be really cool. And Scott says Scuba sent you a funny. Oh, he sent something. Sent him a funny. Yeah, put a birthday cake, the emoji in the comments, okay? And so I'm gonna read this really quick while you guys are putting the birthday emojis in. I like that, Scott. Very cool. I like that. See, because people that are watching or listening, they can see that, and we have like one big birthday party, right? So I'm going to read this real quick here because, I always read something out of my book for you guys to take with you. Realize that you are capable of working miracles of your own making, right? Realize that you're capable of working miracles of your own making. Remember that it's up to you to find the key that unlocks the door to your happiness. See, just what I was talking about, right? That you're in charge of your happiness. Understand that increased difficulty brings you nearer to the truth of how to get beyond it. Boy, isn't that truth. Understand that increased difficulty brings you nearer to the truth of how to get beyond it. Cross your bridges, meet your challenges, reach out for your dreams, and discover how to get closer and closer to a more fulfilling life. Get rid of the if onlys and get on with whatever you need to do to get things right. So is that cool or what? That is the best advice. So that's my advice to you guys and gals on there, that you are capable of doing miracles in your life, but you have to do it. You have to be the change. So be the change. Be the change. Okay. So anyway, before I drop everything, that's it. I'm just super happy that y'all stopped by. Thank you so much, all my chatters and everything. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Much love, all that good stuff. I'm going to start putting things away here. Come by next week or in the week after and see if Will Fly wants to win some socks, don't you, Will? I know you do. So this is going to keep people motivated. And I'm going to keep looking for different things. Like I said, when I go to because I love doing that. I love seeing people smile and I love seeing people happy. So anyway, so you all be safe out there. Say your prayers. Thanks the good Lord when you wake up every day. And I thank the good Lord for everything. And Will, you work on that generator and get that thing going. And you guys drive safe, okay? I think Scuba's going to have a show tomorrow night, so we'll be hanging out with Scuba Vapes tomorrow night, and I'm going to watch. Let's see, Scuba needs them since he's an airhead. Oh God, Scott, I know we love. Thanks, Will Fly. Will Fly said you rock, Linda. Like I said, it was a good day all the way around, and I was feeling really good vibes before I even started the show, so that helps because I want to give off that energy, that good energy, right? Who needs that bad energy? There's enough of that going on in the world, right? So yeah, hit that like button, put those birthday cakes in there, the emojis and all that stuff, and I so appreciate everybody stopping by to say hi, even if it's only for a few minutes. It's okay. But I'm going to shut this down because the guy downstairs is sleeping, so I'm sure he can hear me. He's probably getting a little upset. So I have to be a nice neighbor, right? In my house, in my tree house. That's why. My tree house. Yeah, because I'm upstairs. So it is like a tree house, right? Scott says I had good vibes too. I don't work tomorrow and the weekend. Oh, that's good, Scott. You enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your weekend. And I'm counting the weekends till I get to go to Torch. So anyway, so I'm going to say goodnight. Molly's coming back to visit me. She said it's time to go to bed, Mom. So I love y'all bunches. Much love. Be safe. God loves you. Everything. And I'm losing internet here real quick. Yeah, it kind of went weird. So all right. So I'm going to say goodnight, and I will see y'all. I'll see y'all next week, or I'll be in the chat in some of the shows, right? You always have a good time. Okay. Much love. Thank you so much for everybody hanging out tonight. Be safe. Safe travels, okay, to all these fly-ins that you're going to, and be safe up in the air too, okay? Cool. So if I don't see you on the air, I'll see you in the air. I said it right. If I don't see you on the air, I'll see you in the air. That makes sense. Yes. Love you, Robert. If you're listening, my son, Robert Michaels, I love you. I love my family. Love you bunches. Love my pair of peeps. So, Bill, I will be here next Thursday. All right. I will be here next Thursday. But Scuba Babes will be tomorrow night. So that's the other show. So that's ones that I follow. I follow my Scubas and Shaney's show, called Shaney's show, and all that. So I'll see y'all next week. Okay. You take care. I'll see you on Facebook. You know where I'm at. Much love. Peace out. Bye.